Introduce your first player in this PvP matchup today, hailing from Team Acer and of course his native country being Finland. In the red trunks, playing Protoss to the west, it is Team Acer's Elfi. Versus his opponent from the UK and hailing from Team Dignitas, in the east of the Antigua shipyard, playing Protoss. In the blue trunks, ladies and gentlemen, it is Bling.
And however the result goes in this game, I think the crowd will be happy. Bling made a lot of fans yesterday, because of his games against Pult especially.
Yep.
And we do see there, Elfi going for the 12 gate already compared to Bling. He opened up 13 gate, so Bling is more of a reactionary player. He'll accept what's coming and then deal with a blow, such as we saw yesterday with that 2-rack style from tier support. Bling easily accepts and then delivers a punishing blow, and that may actually be the story of this matchup if Elfi does decide to go down that aggressive route of 4-gate. If Bling accepts it well and lands a killing blow afterwards, very similar to the JYP versus Hero game number 1 on Shakira's Plateau.
Very much so. See what both these guys can do. PvP is not the best matchup for Bling, honestly. I think his best matchup at the moment, self-confessed, is PvT. We saw that against Pult, an incredibly powerful 2-0 series from him in his favor. PvP not so much, and Elfi just loves this matchup. He's probably one of the only people that does, honestly. He thinks that he can win very reliably. He understands the matchup better than he does everything else, and he always plays it well.
Yeah, and he's skipped a few probes, or not really skipped probes, but skipped seconds within his probe production to get that gateway out, to get that cybercore out, and in result of that, he actually has a bit of a lower income than Bling, who is at 1 point 2 probes ahead. So already in the game, we're seeing that difference of, that 12 gate versus the 13 gate, but the thing is, Bling, knowing Elfi's style, has got that second gateway down, is going for this 3-stalker rush. Elfi throws down the second gas anyway. He doesn't want to just go ahead and be like, all right, I'm just going to stay on that one gas, go ahead and take it, I don't care, I'm going to do the full gate anyway. He wants the backup option. And the thing is with Elfi is, it's very difficult to read a player that is so unpredictable, whether it is going to be a full gate, whether it's not. There's a lot of mind games that can go on because of his reputation also.
Yeah, Elfi stealing gas as well, which is always a nice thing to do, just limits what your opponent can actually do and gives you just a little bit of scouting information as well. He also knows that a pylon went down in the base there by Bling, and it wasn't an aggressive pylon or anything along those lines. So even that is a little sliver of information he can use. And
it looks like we are going to see a bit of a fake 4-gate again from Elfi here, and he is pushing out. The thing is, he's stolen the second gas here from Bling, which slows Bling's tech down so much because he needs gas installed, because he needs it in a century maybe. But now that he's lost the investment guys, he's not even trying to get rid of it either. So Bling is just pushing out with his units right now, ready to intercept the 4-gate if that was to happen. But all of a sudden we see a very aggressive play here by Elfi, who actually decides to cancel the Twilight cancel upon seeing Bling pushing down now, who himself is faking this out here. And that's, PvP, the mind games here. And Bling is just on 2 gateways. That's it. There's nothing more than that.
Yeah, probe shut down there by Bling. Always nice just to get a little bit of damage in there. And you've got this pylon, which is just out of Elfi's range, right next to it. But he does require vision up that ramp. Good force field right there by Elfi, and he cuts down 1 stalker, and the second one easily eliminated. But he wants to get a warp in at the top, and he can't. Bling not quite able to warp into the base, and indeed, it would have been unwise for him to do so.
Absolutely. Very, very smart play here from Bling to begin with, but it's a little bit questionable with his Nexus, but we'll go into both of these now. So the smart play here from Bling was to build that pylon, to fake that pressure, even at the loss of a couple of stalkers there. Maybe it doesn't weigh up correctly with losing 2 stalkers, maybe 1 would have been a better trade. But what we were going to see from Elfi there was 1 gateway, fake pressure, steal gas, go straight into Bling, and then go from there. But he delayed his tech a lot because of that little pressure Bling decided to do there. But then the second point I wanted to come into is Bling decided to go 2-gate expand behind this and then go for Bling of his own. And it is a bit of a gamble because we are seeing the Bling already being researched and is a significant 50 seconds ahead of Bling's. So we're going to have a big time where Elfi's going to just do so much damage, and Bling is also throwing down a forge. Instead of relying to go up the robotics facility, try to get an immortal, try to add more gateways, he's going to have to build a pylon and cannon to help defend that natural.
Yeah, Chrono Boost not being spent by Elfi at the moment, but not necessarily all that important since it will kind of line up with the next Chrono Boost. Once this ends, he'll have another 25 energy, so it doesn't really matter all that much. He does have this lead, and he is going to exploit it. This timing from Elfi is most likely going to land pretty much perfectly with the pylon at the top. He understands this matchup so incredibly well and screws with his opponents to the point where it's really hard to know exactly what's going on with him. More Stalkers coming in, a choice of a cannon. Not a good idea, I feel.
Oh, the cannon's an okay idea, but it's only covering a certain percentage of the natural for Bling. So even if Elfi sees it, he can run behind and start attacking. His blink is now done. He jumps in immediately, realizing the weakness of the Nexus and that cannon. It doesn't even complete, and Elfi has a big advantage.
There's the cancel right there on that, and he brings in everything he can off the mineral line, and it's just going to be absolutely crushed. Blink's managed to get some Stalkers in from behind, but he's completely outnumbered and outgunned right here. The blink is about to kick in for him, but I feel the damage has now been done, and Elfi is at least going to snipe that Nexus, I think.
Yeah, Elfi is in such a good position now. Bling has to pull a lot of probes down. Elfi has Bling. Bling has it as well. But it doesn't matter, Elfi has more probes, and he's killed 14 workers in this game. It's 23 for Bling, 26 for Elfi, and Elfi continuing to warp in units.
Yeah, Bling needs to try and hold up against that. Maybe he can. I would actually just like to see him use the high ground a little bit here to actually do some damage, just like that. Just do a little bit here and there. I know he wants to protect that Nexus, but I think he's going to have to accept that it's dead, and now he has finally done that. And this is a real blow for Bling, honestly. He needed that Nexus to stay alive. He is now straight up behind his opponent.
Yeah, and it looks like Bling is on the edge of losing the first game as Elfi does kill that Nexus. And Elfi has multiple options from here. He can sit there, he can just hold his opponent in his main, as long as he keeps building units, or he can fall back, tech up, and expand at the same time. He's got a lot of options now, and a significant advantage, 53 supply versus 36, and we do see an Elfi probe going back to the natural. He's going to throw down a Nexus, no doubt about it, and we'll be like, all right, I've got a Nexus now, you haven't Bling, come to me.
Also, something to bear in mind is the amount of cash that ended up being lost by both players. The comparison, Elfi engaged incredibly efficiently, only 9 units killed in total, 1,300 resources versus 3,100 resources lost by Bling. He took immense damage on all fronts there. His economy took a hit, his army took a hit. Elfi is straight up flat out ahead at this point.
Yeah, and Bling's going to try and play catch up. And this is fine to do. You know, he's not out of it yet, and Elfi hasn't secured the win either. Because Bling can easily pull back from the disadvantage by harassment. He does have the forge to begin an early upgrade also. The thing is, he doesn't have any spotting via an observer and could actually lose everything there and has to back out as the Stalker count heavily in favor of Elfi, who is not going to be able to get that Stalker, but does drain its health.
Very fortunate at least to get out of there. But yeah, you're right. A lot of people just have this idea that, oh, well, it doesn't matter, it's Protoss. But no, that's 50% of your health that's gone there regardless. The shield only accounts for 80 of the Stalker's health. So not really so great to take that kind of damage. Elfi's going to add Immortals into this mix as well, which means if we see pure Blink Stalker, it can get unpleasant. It really depends on how many Immortals are out. If it's 1 or 2, you can blink in, you can snipe, but they're still going to take a lot of punishment. If it's more than that, your Stalkers are going to get ripped to shreds.
Absolutely, and you know, Bling has to take a risk, and I feel that that risk he's going to take is not going for the robotics facility. He's going to say, all right, I'm behind, I'm just going to not go for it. And as I say that, I am looking at the production tab, and there goes down a Dark Shrine and a Warp Prism from Elfi.
So smart.
And the reason why I feel Bling won't rush to get a robotics facility is out, because it's a lot of money, but all it's going to really give him is scouting information, which he's going to have to cut out of this game to re-catch up with Elfi. And this could actually be a killing blow here from Elfi, especially if Bling doesn't get that robotics facility, which I don't think he will.
Now, Elfi just knows exactly what his opponent's doing. He's got his observer in the base, and he sees the key weakness. There is, of course, no cannon up to prevent Dark Templar play at this stage. There is no chance of an observer. That is already more than halfway done. Pylon is irrelevant with the Warp Prism, and this could just kill Bling outright.
Yeah, as soon as the DTs land in the base, Bling has to GG. No, there's no way. There's absolutely no way. There's no spotting. There's no way for him to get a robotics facility up without the DTs killing it anyway. And here goes the Warp Prism, and I think the crowd here, Tolobus, is going to be very happy when these DTs get warped in.
I think so, and there's nothing to stop it. There really is not. I can't imagine what he would try and do. If he goes for a base trade, he'll lose. His army is not big enough.
And there is the robotics facility. Elfi doesn't know about it yet, but in come the DT warp in. And even if that robotics facility gets up, he's going to lose so much and put himself even further behind. That risk he's taken would have put him ahead a little bit or started to catch up, but now he's going to fall even further behind.
Yeah, here come the Dark Templar straight into the mineral line. There is no answer to it at all. There's no cannon right there. And of course, he took so much damage to begin with that getting a cannon wasn't really an option. DTs are now working their way through. Needs to get that observer out, but he's going to have to pull all the probes down to his nexus. That might give him a little bit of time. Would have liked to have seen him throw down a cannon at the natural at least, but these DTs can now go to town.
Yeah, what Bling did do there was force field the DTs in his main base to prevent the probes dying on the natural there. So he loses the main nexus here and could lose every couple more pylons because Elfi knows that they're gonna die soon anyway. So he's just doing as much damage as possible. If he tries to kill structures, it's a bit of a risk, but pylons will go down faster. And as you can see, that's a significant loss for Bling. Bling, on the other hand, understanding that he is behind, throws down a hidden expansion at the south side, but it's looking very bleak.
Really grim. If Elfi then just goes and attacks, he should be able to crush that. That was a lot of infrastructure damage done. Bling has been supply blocked heavily. He's got this +2 delayed. Most of his production is shut down at the moment, and he holds that, but to what end, really? What is he going to do at this point? The army supply looks like that. Elfi looking really scary and is now rolling out. The only thing that Bling's got in his favor right now is a fairly heavy upgrade. In fact, engaging now is perhaps not the right time. He doesn't have +2 yet, but he gets a good engagement controlling the high ground.
The thing is, there's only one observer and it's with the Stalkers, so if Elfi goes in again, which he looks like he's going to do, and just like puts more DTs down, then that's pretty annoying for Bling, who trying to get Stalkers in there. Actually, they're not going to go in, and Elfi just goes in, sees no expansion, and doesn't even want to take the risk. He's like, all right, if he's on one base on the natural, that's okay, but realistically, Bling has the bottom base and is going to intercept the Warp Prism. Will he get it? He sees it.
Yeah, he's got it right. That is it. Nicely done there by Bling, and that, of course, protects that hidden expansion and denies all of that drop ability. Bling crawling back into this game, but double Colossus is coming out in the background. Elfi's army is massive and is continuing to get even scarier.
Yeah, it is really, really strong, but it looks like Bling going to go in, maybe pick off the robotics facility, possibly a Colossus.
He's got a big upgrade edge at the moment. He really does. He's got a massive upgrade edge that he can use for a little longer. This is what he's got to do to claw his way back in. Takes a pylon, takes a robo, and he can actually snipe the Colossus here. He can, and he won't take too much damage from it, but he fails to do so. Great control there by Elfi, gets that out of the way, and Bling is forced backwards once again. Elfi has taken a third as well.
And Zealot Charges, I was going to actually say that Zealot Charge would be the best idea now because there's no way in God's earth that Bling can catch up in terms of Colossus production. So he can't even try to do it himself. So what he's going to try and do now is just get a lot of Zealots out and try to get a good surround. But even if he does, there's so many force fields available for Elfi. And Elfi's army is so strong and Bling has to run back. It's massive, isn't it? Bling's got to play hit and run. He's got to play guerrilla until he can catch back up, assuming that he even can. And Elfi's just going to crush him at every stage before that. He did have this edge in upgrades. He still does. But it's not enough to really give him what he needs to fight an army of that size. And Elfi just taking his time, just waiting for the pylon to finish, really, and then he's just going to move in for the killing blow. And Bling is well upgraded. He's at 2-1 upgrades. Elfi just at +1 attack, but it really doesn't matter. The Colossus are going to be untouched. Even if Bling tries to blink on, there's too many Zealots and Immortals. Yeah, that's very, very true. The engagement here would have to be fantastic. He's trying to buy time as much as he can here, but he's still going against Immortals and Colossus, and that gets messy. Let's just see how good this Blink micro really is. It'll have to be stellar here from Blink to even think about it. Elfi just goes right in for it. He doesn't care. He slams that home. The Immortals are still alive. There's the Blink to follow that one up, and there's the GG.